Oh, Ethan, I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing.
Triggered.
And then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for us. And now you're doing
I'm pretty sure they just asked for you to denounce it and to maybe be like, yeah, Ethan's not like actually a shit dad and letting his kids eat shit. Thought that was the idea. Thought that was kind of what they were hoping for, but okay.
it again.
I'm gonna watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But like, why?
I just don't think, I feel like you're gonna get really emotional and say something.
I'd be like, yeah, good on you. Well done, Iran. Yeah, you played well there.
Still happening, June 28th. I'm just not going to be involved in it. Please, for the love of God, support this event. You know, I feel like in some ways I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape the bear trap, and so I can fight. Well, that's a bad analogy.
Christ.
You guys get it. We've already told all the fighters, and it seems like most people understand that this is the best move. If the previous content cop was entertaining to you, or this video is entertaining, or you like the message, the best thing that you can do for me is to support Creator Clash. Buy a ticket, buy a pay-per-view ticket, an in-person ticket, or donate.
So you're pulling out of managing it or whatever, but you're also saying that it's the best way to support you is to support Creator Clash, even though your activity is actually, your behavior is the reason that people were pulling out. Okay. This guy, he's very dumb, isn't he? He's like 12 IQ. That's what I noticed with him last time. He talks like a dumb person, and he is a dumb person.
Fundraiser. I just want to see this event do well. You know, I didn't try this shit because I thought I was going to be a good boxer. I didn't think I would be an awesome event organizer. And you know, now I'm finally back to where I started, which is making fucking content cop videos. I don't want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted because I'm like, I spent my last fucking 4 years working on this stupid boxing shit. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely, but like, it's crazy that I've just returned to content cop. Having said all that, Creator Clash ticket link down in the description. Go check it out, buy tickets, support the charity, support the fighters, and have a good-ass time. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing because I think I am meant to roll around in shit. I think me and Ethan are both meant to be rolling around in pig shit all day long, and other people are meant to do boxing or debating or whatever else. Ethan and me, pig shit rolling around type of fellas.
You underestimate my strength! I've got kosher strength! The will of Allah! I mean Yahweh! Yahweh!
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community, and I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after it. Israelis have no right to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian? Yeah,
Let's
he
go.
just discovered empathy, by the way, and only extends to the point where you're actually talking about Jewish people or Israelis. Then empathy stops, and they should all...
Dwayne, that's the $5. Ian is meant to be working a fryer in McDonald's. I mean, I don't know, he seems to have gone... he seems to have made quite a name for himself as an entertainer. Like, whatever. But you know, stay in your lane.
I'll be murdered. Bro's actually out there like Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest fucking kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew. I heard there's a Jewish.
That's not what Timothy McVeigh did.
They want all you guys to quit and for me to just be like alone. Little Jew boy alone.
Like Ethan under a year ago was saying he doesn't use anti-Semitism in that way. He's not a guy to call anything and everything anti-Semitic.
You know, in my whole life, I've never screamed foul on anti-Semitism. I literally have been getting this shit since the second I stepped foot on the internet, and I have never fucking ever done this, okay? So the people online, they're saying, oh, Ethan's making himself a victim or Ethan's making everything about anti-Semitism. I've done this once in my life right now.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I mean, I get that he's scared and offended, but this was the whole fucking point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing.
Triggered?
And then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for us. And now you're doing
I'm pretty sure they just asked for you to denounce it and to maybe be like, yeah, Ethan's not like actually a shit dad and letting his kids eat shit. I thought that was the idea. I thought that was kind of what they were hoping for, but okay.
it again.
I'm going to watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But like, why?
I just don't think, I feel like you're going to get really emotional and say something you regret.
Well, I've got the button.
Like, I know you don't have a problem taking it head on, but I just feel
Of course not. Because I know that
you're
whatever-
understandably upset, and I feel like it might be a little...
Should we wait to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
You should do it off stream. Because I don't know, this escalated initially because we were live and you guys were heated about, I forget what it was.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need to fucking pre-watch this. I don't need someone else to hold my hand through it. Like, I'm ready to take on anything that these people have to say about me. He's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys. I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that honestly are scary.
I just said I vented about them not defending me. What the fuck is he like? He's actually losing his shit and I just can't believe it, dude.
Should you call him up?
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something.
Spineless.
Okay, listen, I know someone paid good money for me to watch this, but I have no commentary. I don't even know what he's trying to argue here. What is he trying to say? I haven't really heard when you're in school, they taught us P on your essay. P. There was this like Glaswegian lady, and she was like, P on your essay. I was like, okay, yeah. And it was like, P was point evidence evaluation. You know? Here's the thing. Here's why. Let's conclude. That was what you were told to do. But I just don't get what the fuck's happening here. Point evidence explained. See, we said evaluation because we're higher IQ.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video, because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that? Well, this is the white savior, Ian, who's just found empathy, unless you're Jewish, of course.
Ethan, people are allowed to shave their head and not be called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're going to critique his podcast or be pissed off that he personally insulted you, even that is enough to be called anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy. Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword hilt because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No,
Yeah,
no. I don't actually think that. The chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hassan's room that was laying around. That could be the end of the discussion. You don't actually need to debate Hassan about the sword hilt.
He left it up.
Decision making.
You're saying he changed his mind on that though, because this is before they saw the clip of Hassan saying, "Oh, they took the swastika sword." Yeah, I think that's why and because they found out that Hassan doesn't watch Bleach. I don't care, fucking sword, man, stupid.
If it
a
was a mistake,
person
he could have
who I
deleted
am
it.
not.
But I'm not going to delete the photo because that would be indulging in your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that denims could have crash out moments. I think
Crash
we're all
out.
capable of it, but he was using it in the video to suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
To my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
Well, yeah, crash out. Accusing him of crashing out is obviously saying that like your critiques are not coming from any valid place. Like it's just mental illness. That's what crash out is suggesting. Yeah, like it's an invalidation. It's like a silencing.
Make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial weird crash out. People can have crash out
What
moments.
is this? Ugh. I'm just putting in information because fuck just watching this video for 30 minutes straight. This is a Hamas statement from one of their armed units in Gaza. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, the only reward of those who make war upon God and his messenger and strive after corruption upon earth is that they shall be killed or crucified, or their hands and feet be cut off on opposite sides, or they be exiled from the land. God's truth is true. I've never heard that one. Okay. Based. Statement number 1, issued by the Piercing Arrow units. Who are they? Is it? I think they're called the Saham unit. Is that what they're called? The Arabic word. Sons of our struggling Palestinian people, our patient and steadfast people in besieged Gaza. I guess there's like a word there that might be like surrounded or blockaded or something that has like double meaning in Arabic, which is being subjected to a war of extermination and starvation. We send our greetings to your martyrs, your wounded, and your prisoners, and we ask God Almighty to extinguish the fire of this war that has burned everything. In light of what our people in Gaza are being subjected to, some gangs are imposing a new reality of chaos, theft, murder, and attacks on the people's property. In the light of the high cost of living, monopoly, and hoarding of goods by merchants who have no religion other than money as their
refugee application fee.
Thanks to $10. Really appreciate it. Other than money and as their highest desire, and even after the investigations we conducted with some of these people, they admitted clearly and frankly that the Israeli enemy is the one leading them to this. Wait, what? Wait, people are stealing what? Aid? Because Israel's blocking the aid. Okay, interesting. Or what? They're collaborators. Interesting. In light of the absence of the role of security forces in Gaza due to the pursuit by this occupation, in light of all this, it was incumbent upon us to stand up like men and sharpen our swords and weapons to cut off the roots of these mercenaries who are agents of the occupation. We in the Piercing Arrow units announced the following. First, we call upon our people not to move after 9 p.m. except in cases of extreme necessity, so that our deterrent units can take revenge and hold these mercenaries accountable. This decision will remain in effect until further notice, and we will deal with anyone who moves without justification as a treacherous thief who assists the occupation. Secondly, we demand that our respected families lift the cover from everyone who takes the path of espionage, treason, theft, and exploitation. Thirdly, to the blood merchants who have sucked the blood of our people, woe is coming to you. There is no mercy or compassion for you. You will see what you say, not what you hear. Fourthly, to the gangs of theft and chaos who are known to us by name, the killing and dismemberment of your limbs that occurred a few days ago is only the beginning of what is to come for you. Fifthly, our religious and legal retribution will be merciless against anyone who dares to be against our people in their war. If they're talking about treason, this will also be because of protesters. I know they've executed a bunch more people as well, like maybe like 5 or 10. So, yeah. I don't know this whatever you call it, the Saham unit or whatever, the Piercing Arrow. Are they across all of Gaza, or are these guys just like a unit in a particular part? I'm guessing this was a Telegram post. They're being led by the Panther. Shut up! He died a shaheed. It might be everywhere because it seems like it might be It seems like there are variations of this statement being spread by Hamas all over the Strip. Well, it's so annoying that it's how hard it is to document all the protests because like, literally no one's covering it. It's so fucking mental. Like, obviously you're not going to get Al Jazeera talking about it, so it's just people sending it to their families in the West who might translate it. Mental. Or Saudi outlets who all the lefties don't trust. I don't know.
Moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help. Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people are trying to affect you. It's
Speed up the video. $100. The SAM unit is the policing unit. Oh.
Understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan. We all
They
go
cover this? They covered the curfew or the protests?
through this.
To characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic on a level I didn't think would ever be possible of doing.
Every fucking example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip of me saying, if you get help. We all need help. Everyone on this planet needs help. I don't care how you get it. You can wander into the jungle and go on an ayahuasca trip. I don't care how you get your help or what you define as help. But if it helps you, that would be good. Because right now it doesn't seem like you're getting much help.
Obviously the issue that people have, is obviously that he's saying Ethan's upset because IDubbbz is just pretending that has already decided that his grievances are just a result of a mental health issue, like a crash out, like a crisis. And obviously he thinks that's invalidating. So when you're obviously, I'm trying to help, it's like you've started on a false premise. You've started on a premise that you think all the grievances are because of mental health, like, which is stupid. Clearly concerned. Oh, it's so dumb.
The main criticism that I was seeing online with my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
Watch this at 2x speed. $100.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS
yes.
came to us.
So, like,
without
for a lot of
without
these-
even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me? And I didn't have any chance to defend myself. You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, fuck Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these fucking comments on your Reddit saying, like, it happened because of the CPS call? I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused, because number one, it's a fucking cult, and number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone's watching your dumbass...
Wait, is he saying that Ethan just like jumped on him before he even knew if IDubbbz found out about the CPS call? Is that what this is? Is he going to show the timeline? I don't actually know what the timeline was. Maybe that matters, but... All right.
Your brain is also going to get scrambled.
Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. So again, he's not showing the context. What was the okay, I'll play this part. Did you guys ever find the context of what I was talking about here? Because I feel like I wasn't even talking about him. I could be wrong. I just don't remember ever saying like, if I did say that,
I thought you were talking about them, about Anissa and Ian in that clip.
That's the same clip of
It's all the
when
part of the same
CPS was
clip.
called.
Yeah.
Same clip.
It's part of the same conversation.
You completely wiped your brain of what happened during the CPS stream. That's not my fucking fault. That's no one else's fault but yours.
All I wanted for you to do was say the bare minimum of like, hey, this is fucked up. This is not true about CPS, whatever, like the bare minimum. It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
This is what I was talking about. You cannot have something terrible happen, be like, yes, let's make some content, and then shit talk your friends of 8 years.
I'm so fired up, I don't even know what to do with myself, which is why I'm crying. On the other hand, I don't know if that's a good state to be in life.
That's that, Elon, kind of spitting.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan was talking shit about us on his Instagram before any CPS shit. He was also talking shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit.
Oh, here's the timeline. Okay, wait. Okay, let's see what we're looking at here. Okay, so March 1. CPS calls on the 3rd. And then 2 days later. And were there DMs happening here? Or do I care? Do I care? Okay. Who's going to correct the time, eh?
He was also talking shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits Ethan and Hila, and that same day, they decide, let's do our podcast, and let's have the topic be the CPS visit and how distraught we are about that. And then right next to that, right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about us. You shit talk us, and you imply that we're friends with people who are doing this, who are the ones who are harassing you.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say that?
Random anonymous Redditors?
Did I say that?
Wait, what's the...
I said they're primary responsible for harassing me.
Who called CPS?
What the fuck? So, I don't know.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Hila's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Hila. And I do mean that literally. There was this H3 stream where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own health. He was talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
So now we're saying that it was his fault. Okay. Again, you could also, if you want to do a criticism about, if you want to make a criticism here about Ethan oversharing, yeah, that's fine. I think he does overshare, especially when you've got like the half of the fucking internet screaming at you the whole time and going after you. But that doesn't justify the content creators spreading things about that would lead to people thinking that you're like a child abuser. It's like you can tell someone, don't go down this dangerous fucking alleyway every time you go home from work, but it doesn't mean the people in the alleyway who attack you have a right to do it, or like they don't deserve most of the criticism. Eek.
A child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his...
I was saying a dog you adopted have a parasite oversharing. That's not all he said. He also said that the rest of his family had giardia and that you need to eat shit to get it, even though I guess it was a joke that he said that, or because it was just like, because obviously that's not the case. What is Papa Gut saying about the timeline? Who's this guy? I feel like I've heard this guy's name a lot, but I don't really know that much about him. Anything really? But I know he exists, yes.
Right after it, you guys talk about CPS visits Ethan and Hila, and that same day, they decide, let's Let's do our podcast. And let's have the topic be the CPS visit. Right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about it.
But like what you just showed us was that like there was 2 days that you guys had to say something publicly. They're not a continuous harassment campaign. Your editor is like harassing them. Then the call to CPS happens. I'm assuming this is when we found out about it. What? Then Ian shits on IDUB. Okay. There's something off here. I have to. Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. They give it 5,000 defiant. The problem is that
the way he said the way he said the CPS call. The way he said CPS call, it was that it sounded like it was the same day. CPS stream. He made it sound like the same day.
he isn't acknowledging that Ethan was getting called a bad parent before the call itself had happened. Yeah, that's true. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. Wait. The CPS getting called was not the start of the event. He's trying to lie and reframe the situation as if, well, how do we know the CPS just got called? How are we supposed to know that? Because this was an ongoing thing. Ethan was talking about this for how long before this episode? What are you talking about? Like, it started with them putting in this weird lie that he abuses his children, basically, and they roll around in shit. That was your friend who was doing it, or excuse me, your wife's friend who was doing it. And then it carried over into CPS actually getting called. Who fucking cares when CPS got called? Oh my God, this guy's a loser. He just lied outright. He lied. He tried to manipulate the time frame. This guy's a dishonest piece of dog shit.
Damn.
Mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
The whole family possibly having Giardia.
Oh,
And now Hila has Giardia.
Shut. For real?
Now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my God.
Jeez, what can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying to...
Because I'm not trying to get
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
Talking about the viscosity of his child's shit.
And although meanwhile he is covered in low viscosity diarrhea.
He mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas like in the middle of the night. All the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands as best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas. And then extremely foul smelling diarrheas.
So of course, Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years, other people react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about his children getting Giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS, including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about diarrhea, viscosity of diarrhea, his child having Giardia, him and his whole family having Giardia. They're calling it the poop house.
Again, no one does their diligence. He's justifying it. What the fuck? No one does their due diligence to just Google Giardia and actually see that it's quite easy to get, and you don't need to have a shit-infested house for people to have it. Like, when people talk about, you can get it from like contact with an animal fur. Like, you can get it from like a microscopic fucking like particle. And they still spread it, and that was the problem. Jesus. Most of these chats are clearly joking. Yeah, this guy is just fucking brain dead. He's like completely off his rocker.
Now what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was the source of the CPS call. Because her chat...
Because her chat was full of people saying, call CPS, and because she was just uncritically believing a story from someone that she knows is a liar. Okay, wow.
Was reacting to Ethan.
And she was, instead of looking up what Giardia is, just decided to take other people's word for it, and then also arbitrarily decided later on that kids don't have any memories when they're 5 years old. Okay, great.
Saying, wow, this is concerning.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the fuck am I meant to do? I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you, because in your video defending yourself, you used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
No,
selected.
it's this, I think when you full screen it, no, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full chat. It's just enlarged there.
Oh, really?
Over the screen, yeah.
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
It's not timed. It's not timed the same way.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denham's chat. But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children.
And they think this is, oh my God, it's so dumb. Yes, this is right. This is not the actual chat. This is a collection of chats from a 5-minute period. Wow.
I mean, much like many other illnesses,
Reading the chat, co-signing
it's very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now pay
So I would
attention
assume
to
he doesn't
her
actually
chat.
have a housekeeper anymore.
Look,
perhaps
he's really trying to hide it by putting it here. What the fuck?
he lost his extra housekeeper. So now
I
the house.
can't believe these people are so dense, man. This isn't even, it's not even funny how fucking stupid these people are. The problem is that there are so many of them. There are so many people who are this fucking cooked in the brain. That's what's so baffling to me. It's like, where do people find them? It's funny, someone tagged me in a tweet today, basket case. This person, I think they're like a liberal Twitter user. And they were saying that Ethan Klein, Hassan should, why is Hassan talking to Ethan Klein, not someone like Box Loner, whoever that is, who knows the history of the region. And it's just full of people who have clearly not watched a single word of anything I've said, just being like, oh, this guy like believes a bunch of things that I heard from someone else, from someone else, from someone else. Jesus. God.
Is just like covered in dog shit, and he has kids, and his kids like.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denham's herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you are that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything. As part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience is to be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly a benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
Ethan was just sharing his thoughts, what we were thinking, we were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around, he's putting everything in his mouth, he's at that age, he has giardia.
We were speculating.
Oh,
and now Ela has giardia.
Shut.
Be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
Really? How many siblings do you have? I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will somehow
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it.
On top of Ethan characterizing me and my wife as anti-Semitic, he also takes a dig at my tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a windy thing, bro. Like literally my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from
Wasn't this reaction like hours long, and we're just breaking out all the insults that like make it look like that's what the entire react was like, and now people who watch this might feel like they have a solid understanding of the entire react, and they just think it's just him doing insults the whole time. Like, yeah, the way people, I don't know, people need to get fucking educated on how to digest media, because this video essay shit is fucking ridiculous. Like the way people do this is like they literally just take like hours and hours of content and just try and like distill it into 30 seconds. But like, yes, this represents the entire bulk of what this person said or believes. It's really fucking, and people buy it. It's really dumb.
Chuck E. Cheese. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with, because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect. If you want to go tattoo for tattoo, Ethan, we can do that. You want to keep it to other things? We can. I'll give you that option. Ethan also talks about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yeah.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect, I guess. That would be comforting if there was some explanation, at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
What if we do both do them? We'll both do 25 at once.
25 each? 4.
Oh my goodness.
Great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Also, why are you talking about CTE at all? Like, you've continually illustrated that you can't keep track of anything.
It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
He can't even keep straight who attacked who first. He thinks that our podcast where we're expressing sympathy for him and Hila was the impetus for him talking shit about us. I much prefer boxing-induced CTE than harassment-induced CTE. Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me like one time like, hey dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment, and then like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone. You wouldn't have shit-talked me. You would be curious where my brain was at and where I was coming from. There's this moment in the
apparently your brain was that Ethan overshared and it's his fault, though. I mean, what would the... Okay.
Cop where I'm trying to give an example of the cycle of harassment. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of... Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Ethan and Hila act like they have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, maybe they don't. It's a very obvious and easy to digest point. That's why I made it that way. I'm going to explain it here so everyone on the internet understands. When you have a podcast where you are constantly emotionally dumping and saying things just off the top of your head, and you're attacking other people randomly, maybe from your perspective it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion, he's somewhat repulsive to look at.
And be
pedophile.
Is he just looking for this entire thing to... He's just looking for Ethan doing insults. Okay.
Pirate Software was like weird about it. It's like, look at my old voice, it's so lame. What an obnoxious loser. She goes like,
what? Oh, this is all harassment, isn't it? God.
I can't believe these people are so obnoxious. And he looks like an idiot who's obsessed with me, dude.
But what happens when other people comment on your situation? It doesn't feel too good, does it?
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
That is the back and forth I'm describing. You might have thought, we were just saying that Ian and Anissa are bad friends. Well, guess what? We didn't take it that way.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses.
You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What we took it as is Ethan and Neil are shit-talking us. They just implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment, and now all of their fans are brigading us. So I am going to respond in kind and make a content cop. So yes, that is what the cycle of harassment looks like.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
You might think that all of the harassment you're getting has everything to do with your politics and your idea of Israel-Palestine, but a lot of my gripes were centered around you dragging me into your shit. You know, you knew that you were going through a lot, and you were saying, I'm hurting, I'm now going to make them hurt because they're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me, they're not Anissa. It's not Hassan, it's not all of these other creators that you're...
What I've seen from that Anissa person, she does sound like she might be kind of anti-Semitic, but okay.
attacking. You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan. Other people can experience a horrible fucking time. And guess what? They're not getting this other benefit, which is 26,000 viewers. You're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this.
Well.
You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what even you send her way.
The shit he said and posted about Frogan over the past years is like insanely nasty shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen. If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Hold on, it's not worse than anything you've seen. How could it be worse than anything you've seen?
Literally, no. I guess
he was
not.
very nasty. Well, I'm just saying, people like fucking want to like get lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking about specifically against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly, which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
that's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
Also, on top of Ethan and Neela constantly victimizing themselves, I did notice that as soon as we didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, Ethan took that to heart and he started to make that his employees' problems. Instead of just, sucking it up and taking it on himself, he decided to imply that Lena is going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for the crew.
Important news, maybe. Who knows? Also, we're like 63, 64 days now of no aid going to Gaza. All right. Sky News Arabic. Wow. To reimpose control over Gaza, Hamas repeats the 2007 procedure. This is the executive force. Remember we spoke about these guys in Cast Lead? They were in the police buildings. The executive force was basically a security body / soldier unit established by Hamas to basically disarm all of the remaining armed factions in Gaza after they threw out the PA. So basically to establish security control for Hamas. And then they also became they were also soldiers as well during the wars with Israel. And they're bringing it back. 5,000 members from all security forces and police to crack down on gangs of thugs and thieves. And I feel like, I don't know how much thievery and thuggery is going on in Gaza. I feel like there would be a good bit because obviously it's hard to maintain security when there's a war. But is it not also that this is do we know if they're using euphemisms for the protesters here? Obviously they wouldn't say that. They would call them traitors or thugs or... The newly formed force is authorized to take all necessary measures to establish security and order, including the use of excessive force in dealing with unruly gangs on the ground and direct fire, even if the results in injury or killing a number of thugs and thieves who have pledged allegiance to the occupation and complied with its plans in the Gaza Strip. See, this bit here sounds like they want to go after protesters, and they're using euphemism, but don't know.
That they have it set up is basically if Lena were to drop out, she would lose she would have to pay back like $25,000 or something like insane. And besides that, which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out, she's been working really hard. And just because I'm having an issue with what's going on here,
You bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight was you publicly showing to your fans, like, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the content cop even came out.
Which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I was totally on board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psychopath for harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan and Neela will victimize themselves every chance they get. But when they have the chance to victimize someone else who's on their crew, they'll also do that.
You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me on your podcast. That was a choice that you made.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
Oh, the organizers of this event are not jumping to my defense? All right, well, maybe instead of shit-talking them, maybe I should zip it.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her. By the way, iDubbbz, Lena's fucking having a panic attack.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
But you're just lobbing it to me and Anissa. I'm lobbing it back to you. You're the one who brought it up. If you lob it back to me and you say, well, I didn't have your back publicly. Well, fuck you. I'm going to lob it back and say, you're being irresponsible on your podcast and you're not taking any accountability for the shit you're putting out online. I think that's going to do it for this video. There's a lot more that I can share, but I'll save that for the future. And in closing, I will reiterate so that, there's no ambiguity about it. Anissa and I are no longer involved in Creator Clash. We're stepping down completely. We hope that the event is a massive success this year. We hope that all of the fighters get what they wanted out of it. I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit. I'll put the link to Creator Clash down in the description if you want to support them in their mission to get creators to fight and raise money for charity. You can do that down there. I will be doing that on my own, and I hope you guys have a good time. Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video, not so it goes in your algorithm or anything, just specifically so that we can add a counter narrative or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there, because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? These are all like fabricated numbers.
Oh, is it going to show the real?
The like ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people.
Yeah, but that might be true, but why doesn't he show it? I think the problem is that when you get that app, the extension that shows you how many dislikes there are to likes, the problem is that people with the extension contribute to its feed. So it's not like it's stealing some fucking API from YouTube that still has the dislikes up. It's not that they're doing that. It's that they're taking just people who use the extension and then they feed data into it. So that means that the sample is just people who use the extension. And maybe, it seems, people who use the extension would be more likely to be the ones who want to view dislikes. So as soon as one or two people said that it had a lot of dislikes, then other people got the extension to go and look and also dislike themselves. Or yeah, something like that, right? I think that's more likely what happened. It probably still does have more dislikes than a usual video would get, but I don't think it's special.
People actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like, bitch, like, people were more upset with, like, my wife being on OnlyFans. You're not gonna convince the internet that fucking Ethan Klein isn't being a piece of shit. Like, sorry, guys. It doesn't matter how many dislike extensions you have.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi, okay? Yeah, fuck you guys too, okay? How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
It's blatantly and obviously fucking disingenuous. This shit blew my fucking mind. Like, this is fucking insane. And, like, dangerous. He is going out of his way to slander you as a neo-Nazi. Like, that can get you hurt.
Thank you, Ethan Klein.
Okay. That was probably one of the dumbest, most boring videos I've ever watched in my life. You know, when they talk about peak, right? When you reach the peak and you climb down and you just, this is so much easier and less strenuous than the climb up. That's why it's called peak. What was I learning about there? I don't even. I'm so sorry. I can't believe someone paid $100 more if you're Canadian for me to watch that. I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do with myself. Shit. We've reached peak drama. Refund them. Nah, I'll just do other stuff. Bro doesn't even know how to make a soy leftist video essay. No, that is actually what leftist video essays are like now. They're just meandering, 10-second clips, 3-second clips, essentializing. No clear line of argumentation. God. Absolute state. What's happening on the rag? What's up on the tabloids? They were always that. Nah, a couple of them were good. I thought my ones were pretty clear. I don't think my video essays were particularly like flawed in any way. Like some of them were maybe a bit too dry. But as far as argument goes, I don't think my video essays in the past were. Could have done more research for a few of them. But it's just like the aesthetic. Like I think people value the aesthetics of intelligence a lot more than anything else is the issue. Half of your runtime was piano playing. That is just completely inaccurate. But okay. Hassan gets his first W since that is what he'd call an exaggeration. Oh. You're not a leftist, so you can't make leftist essay. Good one, bub. In the real world, with real normal people, I am quite left-wing. But yeah, whatever you guys do online, I do not want to be part of that. No. No, thank you. Not interested. Where are we? Hassan copes after losing his debate. Okay, wow.
Yeah. I think a real moderator would have made it a lot better. Dan was not really doing any moderating and had your send clips to Ethan to be on screen. Yeah. Yeah, the structure of it wasn't great. I mean, all things considered, I don't think that it was, I don't think that I did a poor job. Make no mistake.
Yeah.
I'm just being, even in the most...
My favorite bit was where you told a bunch of Jews to just go back to the country that pogromed them. That was fucking based. Oh, so good.
Hypercritical, even being the most hypercritical of myself, regardless of the way that Ethan presented himself, I still wanted to do something here. And the thing I wanted to do was like not cheapen this discussion. And I basically said that last night as well in the aftermath of the debate, where I said like I felt like I prostituted myself, where I did succumb to the whims of Ethan making this about petty drama.
What are you talking about? The petty drama bits were the only bits that you looked good in, Hassan. As soon as they spoke about politics, you just flailed like a dipshit and started accusing Ethan of justifying the Nakba because you had nothing. But okay. Yeah, Hassan did well at the bit that he's good at, which is slop. But okay. Hassan is using positively liked tweets from right-wingers on a right-wing platform, Twitter, to say Ethan's aligned with them. Oh, this person. Gross anti-black tweets. Okay. What? He's got an allegiance with the worst reactionaries online. I didn't make the iDubbbz video, but if someone tweets about you... Okay, wow. Brilliant. Been busy this morning. What did I miss? Also, fuck Hassan Piker. iDubbbz. Real dad shit. Huh? Oh, okay. Robert De Niro. Cute. First W since the Ethan debate.
Likes on the extension on the main channel too. That's really interesting. Well, yeah. Do you want to know what it actually looks like?
Ooh.
Boom.
Whoa. Hot damn. Yeah, the problem with the extension is that it's like it's only grabbing from people who have the app. I think that's what I found out about it. If you have the extension and you like a video, it will contribute to what people see with the extension, or like a dislike. Yeah, because obviously you see the likes anyway, but you see all the likes, and then I guess it just takes a sample of people who have the extension, and if you, which seems to suggest that people who get the extension are more likely to show you. Are more likely to dislike people who have the extension.
So maybe we can put this fucking dumb shit to bed.
Wait, did he show the numbers there?
Boom.
Where are the numbers here? Did he fuck it up? Did he fail with his monitor size?
Bed.
What? Where is it?
Wow.
Wait, where is it?
Wonder.
Where is it?
The currently the extension shows that I have 25,000 dislikes.
Now show. It's
I
like
just
80,
showed you
20.
from my own analytics in real time that the like to dislike ratio is actually 86% like.
Where? I didn't see that. Am I dumb? Where is it? Oh, likes there. Okay, yeah, okay. Cute. Pulled a Frogan, unblocked, and then blocked to quote a response. Wonderful. Mike from PA gets community noted after falling for a copy pasta from Hutch's community. Okay. Twitch will make a martyr out of Tectone if they ban him over his Frogan comments. Okay. I wonder how much Twitch cares about keeping Asmongold in the platform, because surely he's but I guess he does speak in a way that keeps within the TOS. Just not with the unofficial TOS, which is get rid of the right-wingers, or anyway we proceed. 86 is still bad. Yeah, but is it? Like, it just depends on how fucking aggressive the communities are. Like, if you used to ever make videos about groypers, they would all come in and spam dislike. I don't even know if they needed to be directed. It's just like, they were just that kind of people. Or like with Condancula, his fans would always come in and just mass dislike. Bad Empanadas fans would. It's always like the crustiest, like scum of the earth, like losers who, who have audiences that do that. Like I don't think my audience cares for that at all. Like, but I guess it's also because I just don't do anything that would convince my audience to go and harass people generally. Whereas these other people literally get fucking Reddit posts up and click like and then link it in the chat and talk about how they like, yeah, or they just do in their Discord. Whereas I don't really leave that, I don't really give people that sign. Relevant.
Side of the debate where he brought up articles of them. There was a person who was testifying and stuff like that, and then Hassan kept saying this absolutely brain dead point, which was, well, why have if all of these people are coming forward, Ethan, why aren't they bringing charges forward to the people who raped them? Well, it's pretty basic. I don't think they give you their social security number when they're fucking raping you. So what are you supposed to say? Oh yeah, guy who's about 5'8", had a weird fucking shit going on with his hair, shit like that. Yeah, I want to press.
Had an RPG on his shoulder.
Charges against that guy, and then they just bring up like a fucking picture of Doodle Bob and be like, "This is the person you want to press charges against. This is the like." Who the fuck? How the fuck are you supposed to press charges? Who are you supposed to press charges against? And also, like, that isn't a fucking normal ass frat bro conserva cuck point. Oh, you think you were raped? Where are the charges? Why aren't you going to court? Why aren't you going to court? Why aren't you going to court? Like a fucking cuck. saying that shit. So fucking annoying. It's so fucking infuriating. Out of the.
Well done, really. Frat fuck. I would move to America just to live with Irrelevant. Hassan's told to pay for the content cop has come. He will likely raise money for Creator Clash. Don't care. Drama. Fucking. Nick DeOrio. What?
Fucking charity. Dude, he's gonna pull up a video of him supporting terrorism to promote a fucking charity event.
Huh?
What are you gonna do? You're gonna call it the fucking... Dude, it's the heel stream. Holy shit.
Doing that, and that will be most likely the last time I talk about it, unless he turns
This
around.
guy
and
is gonna literally pull up terrorist propaganda and be like, base,
base,
in the name of charity.
He tries to do fucking more Haas.
Dude, he's gonna pull
more
up...
Hasbro. Yes. Fox News. Uh-oh. Oh, because of Anne Frank. Yeah, it's so dumb. I think Ethan flopped that one a little bit. Or a good bit, who knows. Uma, thanks for the 35.90 shekels. Top-notch stream yesterday. So much slop, and you made it into an actual intellectual fact-check history lesson. What? I did that? Huh? What do you mean? AB? Oh, poor AB. Yesterday, AB, the head of H3 Research, gave his boss a report from Channel 12, said that 4 people claimed they were sexually assaulted. Channel 12 is genocidal propaganda. This guy's an absolute fucking moron. We want a forensics reports on the rapes. Also, anything Israel publishes, everything published by an Israeli journalist is propaganda.
From Canada, aka the Sanelandia, I just wanted to say thank you for that stellar Ethan v Hassan stream. I'll be rewatching it for supreme cathartic value.
Hey, thanks for $10. I think it's so big. The react was like 9 hours long, so it's gonna be condensed into like 5 segments, like 5 sections. Oh god, I don't know why I did that. I'm so autistic. I just felt like I needed to vomit all my fucking... I think I repeated myself a lot as well. I don't know, I was just wired. I don't know. Most of these headlines, most of these tabloid pages aren't really jumping out to me. Maybe that's me getting bored of this, or maybe that's just Yeet having a bad day. He got Hassan to say that he wishes Anne Frank was a child soldier instead of a pacifist. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. What's this?
With anti-Semitism.
Let's go.
I am sorry. After October 7th, this is not about criticism of Israel or the Israeli
let's
government.
go. I think I'm going to go to jail, by the way. That's like, okay. This might actually cause me to go to jail, low-key, but high-key.
Genocide. Bro, you were a pampered American millionaire fucking dipshit. Like, who gets all the special treatment in the world from fucking Twitch and wherever else? Like, come on, chill.
Slogans about the Jewish state.
Yeah.
They talk about intifada glowingly. They support Hamas, a genocidal terrorist
I might
group
literally
with American
be going to
blood
jail
on their hands. It is
Actually, I don't know. You know, Trump might make an example out. Oh god, that would actually be so scary, bro. If Trump actually like does end up something to Hassan for First Amendment, for his First Amendment usage, like that's actually quite gross. That's really grim to think that Trump, like, I wouldn't put it past him either, man. That's scary. I do wonder, though. I do wonder if Hassan got arrested by Trump, by Trump's task force. I wonder if that happened. I feel like Hassan would enjoy it more than I would. because he'd get the clout and he'd have people like me defending him.
Is a fallacy to pretend, oh, we can't criticize the government of Israel. That is not the issue
congratulations to all my haters, bro. You did it. All the liberals.
Constantly.
Hassan, no one forced you to tell all the Jews to go back to Iraq, you fucking moron. No one forced you to glaze terrorists for over a year on your platform. Sorry. Go back to Iraq. Mate, you're a fucking Jew hater. It's the fact that it's that clear now, and like anyone who denies it is like kind of cooked. It's like boring now. It feels like the job's done. The job's done, you know. Like he has one debate on this issue with someone who's done like a tiny bit of reading, and it just like it just gets exposed clear as day. We all know "Go back to Poland" is anti-Semitic. Everyone says that. ContraPoint has said that. I saw her say that on Twitter once. Well, if we don't go back to Poland is racist, why is go back to Iraq not? Like, come on.
If Hassan went to jail for protest of paying taxes, it wouldn't stop anything. But if Hyla went to jail 20 years ago in protest of the IDF, the war would have never happened.
Hey, thanks for the $10. Really appreciate that.
At least the nickname fits. Piker.
What does that mean?
Definitely a piker, this guy.
So, you know, Lauren, I feel like there's been almost a theme here throughout.
When did he say go back to Iraq in the debate? He said that like the PLO and these Arab countries offered them a full right of return to their respective countries. That yeah, they could go back to Iraq. They could go tomorrow. Oh God. Which is just it's so ignorant, man. It's so fucking ignorant. The only reason they don't want to go is because America bombed it. Okay. Why didn't they go before the Gulf War?
You said Ethan's words can make him seem pro-Zionist and that he should be more thoughtful, but when he pointed out that your language can come off as supportive of terrorism, why not just admit
Bro, your language is supportive of terrorism. Okay.
that you're careless sometimes too to his fans? It made you look like you can't admit fault.
No, it's not. No. Oh, this poor chatter. I wonder how many of them there are in this community. The ones who think it's just an accident, that it's clumsy.
I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean? If you think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter. What are you talking about? The Houthis and their militancy in the Red Sea is a perfectly moral action. What would you do if there was a genocide happening in your fucking backyard?
It's 1,000 miles away, you dipshit. What would you do if the people actually in your backyard are suffering from malnutrition and extreme poverty? Oh, I'll just spend all the money and resources that we have on helicopters and shitty fucking missiles in the hope that we crash them into a field in the Ben Gurion airport and kidnap Filipinos and keep ourselves locked out of the international market because of those activities. Maybe we should overthrow the government. That's what we should do. Yeah,
that's it. And Ethan had no answer for that.
Backyard.
I also said, yes,
Backyard.
some people think I'm a terrorist supporter, and that's on them and not me. You said Ethan's words can make him seem pro-Zionist and that he should...
Bro, should I kidnap some people? If I just say it's for Gaza, then okay. Apparently that's all you get to do.
Like, if I was Dan Clancy, I would be really afraid of this. And I think he is, and that's why Tectone got unbanned. It's because he knows that he's one really big controversy away, because he's had a few of them already. People have been trying to push that he's anti-Semitic. People have been trying to push that he's like a coomer. Like, I like Dan a lot. I've met Dan. I met Dan before he was even the president, or sorry, whenever he was the president, but not the CEO. I've always really liked Dan. I've got along great with him. But he's not handling this problem in the way that I think he should. And, you know, like, I'd be more than willing to have a conversation about what I think he should do and how I think he should handle it. But the fact is, he's a coomer for real. Yeah, but, like, I don't care about that, right? But other people do. And so, like, I'm not going to pretend like I care about it, but I can acknowledge that this problem exists and it makes him look bad. Does that make sense? And so, anyway, this is basically what's going on. And so I would be very worried if I was Dan Clancy. Because Like there's been a lot of like really controversial stuff on Twitch. Now, in my opinion, what do I want to have happen? I do not want Amazon to look into Twitch, because I think if they do, my content's going to have to change. I think that both me and Hassan will get the axe. Like it's not like they're going to
This guy is the. I love this insight from the top political streamer on Twitch. Hell yeah.
Move him and not remove me. It's probably going to be both of us, right? And yeah, well, I'm just being honest, right? Like that's what's going to happen. And so I don't want to see that happen at all. But and like also there's a good chance that we wouldn't get banned. They would just tell you, you know, Hassan play Marvel Rivals, Asmon play Elden Ring. You guys, you know, don't even fucking think about this.
Yeah.
Do not even say the words Donald Trump ever again, right? Or you're banned. Like that's it. And so
oh dear. Oh no, Asmongold watching the debate. Oh no.
Ethan, are you sure you want to attack my character during an act? There it is.
He loves that.
There it is, bro. Like, lie about somebody being a partner with the ADL, and then whenever they say, don't lie about me, say, well, there's an act of genocide. How do you care about that?
Did you see that Hamas admitted their fighters died and said on Telegram? What do you mean? What do you mean their fighters died? Like all of them, or what? Or numbers? If it was numbers, that would be big. If they actually announced an official number. If they've died in operations, then that's normal. They say that sometimes. As Telegram fighters died. Oh, 25th of January. Hamas has apparently begun to publish names of dead members. These are seniors, though. These are senior members on the Al-Qassam website. This is like fucking, like less than 200 people. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to there. Discord, though, if you want to send me a link.
It's just so fucking dishonest. It's insane. I can't believe anybody buys into this bullshit. It's crazy. The Rolex hat? Yeah. This is what resistance looks like. This is on Yemeni. Houthis and STC accused of forcing Ethiopian women into sexual slavery. Wow, who would have guessed that the terrorist organization takes women and forces them into sex slavery? I would have never guessed this could have happened. That's crazy.
Now, about the Ethiopian women, I don't know exactly about this claim, but the one about them trafficking people who have been arrested for like being immodest or trumped up charges have been passed around the Yemeni security officials and forced to carry out sexual acts.
Wow. Who would have known? Just like Luffy, did they do that in One Piece?
Hey, I love that one.
Disgusting. Well, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. So it was disgusting for Ethan to have played the statement from the girl who got raped over and over for Hassan. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe it was also more disgusting that he needed to have it played to him multiple times? Because I think that's even more disgusting than playing it. The fact that that was necessary. I don't know, man. That's just me. Him playing the statement of the rape girl over and over to play to Hassan to prove a point was disgusting. Well, wait a minute. Let me.
Okay. I think the problem with playing the clip of the woman was because Hassan said he didn't deny the testimony of people who said that they were personally victimized. He denied the ones on October 7th. So Ethan was like challenging him on the thing that Hassan agreed with, but not focusing on the thing Hassan didn't agree with. So that was Ethan being a bit like talking past Hassan there. And in my humble opinion, no, it's not my humble opinion, it's fucking true. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. Where's the forensic evidence, bro? God, that was so mental. Oof. Whoa. Yep, said circumstantial evidence was like useless or whatever. Beautiful. Okay. Hunter 2, thanks for the €5. Thanks for making this almost bearable. Besides that, was wondering if you were still planning on doing the deep dive on Kashmir. Yes, at one point, yeah. I want to do a few more. You know what? I want to do some boring streams. I've done a boring stream in a while. Like a long reading stream. Hell yeah. $3DS Max, thanks for $10. Now that I'm back from Canada, aka the Sinalandia, I just wanted to say thank you for that stellar Ethan. Oh, yeah, I already heard that one. Shit, sorry. Dwayne, thanks for $10. If Hassan went to jail for protest of paying taxes, it wouldn't stop anything. But if Ela went to jail 20 years ago and protested the IDF, the war would have never happened. Also, I don't know, like getting into that whole discussion about whether or not Ela is a war criminal for riding along with a raid in the West Bank, that's a discussion that I think neither of those two would be prepared to have, because it's the whole like legality of operations in occupied territory. Because some people think that because the West Bank's occupied, then all military operations in there are illegal, but that's not true. The problem with occupation is that when a territory comes into occupation, the standard that we set for Israel-Palestine for the Six-Day War was that...
Have you seen Nidub's recent Nazi tattoo? Spider web on the elbow.
Hey, thanks for $10. No, I haven't. But the... because in occupied territory, the standard that they set for Resolution 242 for Israel-Palestine was that it wasn't just you have to withdraw. It was that you have to withdraw to recognized safe and secure boundaries. Like it was something along those lines. Like what they're basically saying in Resolution 242 is that you need a deal. You need to agree upon what the border is going to be and what's going to happen with regards to security and sovereignty, so that both countries recognize each other as their own respective states, and that both sides can guarantee security to the other. And the problem is that agreement has not taken place. So until then, Israel has a right to Israel is occupying the West Bank, and they have a right to use their soldiers to defend their civilians. Then the problem becomes their civilians illegally go into the West Bank and settle there. So the problem there is that Israel actually finds those settlements legal a lot of times, and nonetheless, even if they are there illegally by Israeli law, Israel still has a duty to protect their citizens, and their citizens are, some of them are settlers. So yeah, like in terms of legally, raids are like to catch someone who is posing a threat to an Israeli citizen is allowed, and but the person you're arresting is not your citizen, so it would be in the context of like a military conflict. So yeah, like the fact that the IDF operates in the West Bank is not inherently illegal. The illegal part would be actions that they carry out, and we just have no idea if that raid that Ela was part of was sitting outside in would qualify as legal or not. But if you want to have the shorter discussion, you can just say, well, yeah, she went for the raid. If someone wanted to shoot her because they're part of an armed conflict, then go ahead. Yeah, why not? Because she agreed to go and take part in a scrap with another side of a non-conflict. You could do it that way as well if you want, but it's just, this is less nuanced to put it that way. Anyway. These raids happen almost every night. Well, it's interesting that people say that they should just use special forces to go after Hamas, but that's what they do in the West Bank. They use like very small units and they target much more precisely because they have much more information, they have much more security, and they have much more freedom of movement in the West Bank than they have in Gaza. Yeah. Did she elaborate on details and targets of the raid? I'm pretty sure she just said we were getting terrorists because she said there were gunshots being fired. There's a gunfight outside, like when she was outside. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how often how often special forces or units go into West Bank just to go to a random civilian's house for no reason. It's like, I'm sure if you're Hassan, you think it happens, that's all they do, but coming back to reality. It probably wasn't special forces. Not by the sounds of it, no. All right, hang on. Oh, yeah. I don't endorse what happens in the West Bank, but I also know it's exactly like trans women in sports. It's a bad idea, but if the issue went away tomorrow, transphobes would just move to the very next issue to push us out of public life. Do you really think if Israel just took away all the settlements today, we would have peace? I don't. In fact, I think they would capitalize on that. Just because, and I think that's probably true. If there were no settlements in the West Bank, that wouldn't guarantee a peace deal from the Palestinians, but that doesn't mean you should make a peace deal harder. Like, I don't know why you would do that. It doesn't know, because the purpose of settlers and the reason that they position themselves in the areas of the West Bank that they do is because they want to make the peace process impossible, so that even if Palestinians do change their minds, well, it'll be too late because the settlements are too embedded. Yeah, well, she's just trying to get her bag, leave her alone. Uh-huh. Palestinians are not some ancient people. Palestinian identity started to coalesce from 17 to 48 for two reasons: Arab nationalism, opposition to living with Jews. Okay. I mean, every other country with borders that came out of the mandate periods resulted in a surge of nationalism that actually ended up superseding pan-Arab nationalism in all these countries. That's why these pan-Arab projects always fucking failed. The United Arab Republic tried to be a thing and lasted a couple of years and then collapsed, because people became more attached to the Syrian identity or the Lebanese or the Iraqis. So why wouldn't Palestinians do the same? Oh, fucking stupid. Brr. What should they have done? Just call themselves Israeli instead? Or should they just be just the Arabs, the something like unlike every other Arab national group? Oh man, fucking Israel, bro. Ugh. Does she still deny that aid isn't being let into Gaza? Why would she? She wouldn't deny that, would she? She'd justify it maybe, but. The UAR tried to influence the Palestinian movement. I guess they would have, because it was Nasser and Assad at that point. No, not was it Nasser? I don't fucking know. Shit, can't remember when it was. It might have been neither of those ones. Oh, it was longer than I thought it was. It lasted for like 13 years. It was Nasser and Saleh Jadid. Okay. I had a feeling, I thought the United Arab Republic only lasted a couple of years. Yeah. 58 to 61. Oh no, it remained without Syria. So it was Egypt and what? Was it just Egypt by itself? Or what? What does this mean? It was a union for 3 years. Then it just became Egypt. Yeah, it was only 3 years, yeah. They still LARPed us. Yeah. Intellectual Joker, thanks for the 40 things. Zizek's view clears Zionism's flaws. Fast, watch it. Actually, I think I'm going to go because there's a bunch of things I want to do before the end of the fucking night. There's two, sorry, yeah. And I realize if I just keep streaming into the dead hours, then I'm going to not do any of it. I'm just going to get too tired. The clip is on the H3 subreddit. What? What clip? If it's a clip, I can watch a clip, but I mean, what clip? Zizek or whatever? Wake up and stream. I couldn't do that today, but I will do that tomorrow. I usually like to prepare a bit for stream as well, though. Like 2-hour clip. 40 watt. I don't know what that currency is. I couldn't tell you. Moth Romance, thanks for the 199. Hope you had a good night. Have a good night. Wake up, Loner. Yeah, we'll do a longer stream tomorrow. I want to do news and research tomorrow. That was that's me at drama peak. Fuck that. Please, no Ethan or iDubbbz or Hassan. Please, no videos, because I will watch them. But right now we're cutting them short. Okay. Burnt out on the drama farm. Yeah. Oh, the person who wants to get unbanned, just unban them, man. See, that'll be the trial. Just unban them, see how it goes. Fuck. Please don't rate us to Vosh. It was traumatic for the Israelis in chat. Good. You need exposure therapy, okay? Because the Israelis in the community make it traumatic for every other fucking group, okay? Especially in the Discord. Get some life experience. Prepare. Because if you ever fucking actually lose the war, you have to come to the West. you have to get used to that kind of shit. Jesus. All right.